Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah,
There's just so much information out there, isn't there? Loads of complex ideas.
absolutely. It can be overwhelming.
So what we try to do here is take one of those really fundamental topics, something people have thought about for, well, ages, and sort of dive deep,
Yeah.
for you, our listener.
Getting to the core of it.
Exactly. And today, we're really looking to understand the beginning of meditation. Where does it start?
The foundations.
Yeah. And the idea is to really dissect its essence, what it's all about right at the start.
Sounds good. It's a topic with broad relevance.
It really is. It speaks to so many people, doesn't it? Like whether you're a teenager dealing with all that pressure or, an adult just managing the day-to-day demands, or maybe someone older seeking a bit more peace.
It seems to offer something across the board.
It does. So the big questions we're kind of zeroing in on for this first dive are, what exactly is meditation? And what are those core principles that make it such a, well, potentially transformative practice?
Good questions to start with.
Right, let's jump in. What's the baseline definition we should be thinking about?
Well, looking at our source, the first really important thing to get is that meditation isn't just one single thing. It's more like a family of techniques.
Okay, so not monolithic.
Not at all. And that's key because people often come to it with like one fixed idea. But really, these different techniques, they all share a common aim,
Which is?
which is basically to heighten your awareness and help you focus your attention. And the goal behind that, things like greater mental clarity, better emotional calm, and, that feeling of inner stability.
Okay, so a collection of methods aiming for focus and inner balance. And the source mentions some examples, right? Like focusing on breathing.
Exactly. Focusing on the breath is a classic one, or repeating a mantra, like a word or phrase, or even visualizing something peaceful.
Different paths to a similar place.
Precisely. And even though the techniques vary, the source points out some fundamental components that you see again and again in most practices.
Okay, let's break those down. What are these sort of recurring elements?
Right. So first, the source mentions having a quiet environment. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Fewer distractions makes it easier to turn inward.
Yeah, obvious enough.
Second is a comfortable posture, and this is pretty flexible, sitting, lying down, even walking meditation. The key thing is just being comfortable so your body isn't distracting you.
Right, comfort is key. What else?
Then there's a focus of attention. This is the anchor for the mind. Like we said, it could be the breath, a word, a sensation, maybe a mental image.
Something specific to come back to.
Exactly. And finally, maybe the most subtle one is having an open attitude. This means just observing whatever comes up, thoughts, feelings, without judging them or getting swept away.
That last one, the open attitude, that feels really important because I think a lot of people, maybe beginners, imagine meditation is about, like, forcing your mind to be totally blank, an empty mind.
Yeah, that's a really, really common misconception. And the source specifically addresses it. It's crucial to understand meditation isn't about trying to violently stop thoughts or, achieve some kind of forced silence.
Because trying to do that just makes you tense, probably.
It often does. It can become another source of struggle.
So if it's not about stopping thoughts, what is happening inside during meditation? What's the actual experience like?
Well, the way our source describes it, it's more about observing the natural flow of your mind and body. You notice thoughts popping up, emotions surfacing, physical sensations shifting, but you watch them without getting tangled up in them.
Like watching clouds drift by.
That's a great analogy. Or like sitting by a stream, watching the water flow past without jumping in. You see the thoughts, the feelings, but you don't necessarily engage with their story.
So the mind being active isn't the problem.
Not at all. The mind thinks. That's what it does. The actual practice, the core of it, happens when you realize your attention has drifted off. Maybe you're planning lunch or worrying about something.
Which happens all the time.
Constantly. And when you notice that, you just gently, kindly guide your attention back to your chosen focus, like your breath.
Ah, okay.
And the source really emphasizes this. That simple act of noticing you've wandered and gently returning. That's where the magic, so to speak, happens. That's the training.
Yeah, repeated returning. That builds the muscle.
Exactly. That consistent, non-judgmental redirection is what starts to build that mental resilience and clarity over time.
Okay, that gives us a much clearer picture of what meditation actually is. Now let's dig into those underlying principles the source talks about, the things that are common across different types of meditation.
Right, because whether you're talking about, say, mindfulness meditation or transcendental meditation with its mantras or loving kindness practice or Zen, these core principles tend to show up.
They're the common threads.
They are. They define the essence of the practice, and really importantly, they're what unlock the benefits for, personal growth and well-being that people have reported for centuries.
Okay, let's unpack them. Principle number 1, according to the source, is focus and concentration. How does that work in practice?
Well, it's pretty foundational, as the name suggests. Meditation almost always starts with deliberately cultivating focus. You're intentionally directing your mind towards one single thing.
Like the breath or a mantra, as you said.
Exactly. Or maybe the physical sensations of walking, if you're doing walking meditation. It's about narrowing the beam of your attention.
And the source uses that analogy like training a muscle.
Yeah.
I found that quite helpful. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Think about lifting weights. You don't get strong lifting once, right?
No.
You need repetition. It's similar with focus in meditation. Every single time you notice your mind has wandered off, caught up in a thought, distracted by a noise, and you gently bring it back. That's like doing one repetition for your concentration muscle. You're exercising that ability to direct your attention. It gets stronger with practice.
And that strength and focus, it doesn't just stay on the meditation cushion, does it? The source suggests it spills over into daily life.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key benefit. This improved ability to focus can make a real difference in, pretty much everything. Studying, working on a difficult task, even just truly listening to someone without your mind drifting.
Being more present.
Exactly. More present, more attentive. It's a very practical skill.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's move to the second principle, awareness and presence. How is this different from just focus?
It's related but distinct. This principle is about cultivating what the source calls mindful awareness. It's less about narrow focus and more about an open, receptive observation of whatever is happening in your experience, thoughts, feelings, sensations right now in this present moment.
And crucially, without judging it.
Yes, that's the key part. Without judgment. You're becoming like a neutral witness to your own inner world.
So taking a step back from the internal chatter and just watching.
That's a good way to put it. You learn to observe your patterns, how you react, what triggers you without immediately getting caught up in them. The source gives an example, like instead of instantly reacting to stress with, say, anger, you learn to pause, notice the feeling of stress rising, observe the thoughts around it, and then choose a more considered response.
That sounds incredibly useful for navigating, life. Especially dealing with pressure or difficult situations at any age.
It really is. Being able to stay grounded in the present, not getting swept away by future worries or past regrets, it builds real resilience. It helps you handle things more skillfully.
Okay. Third principle, relaxation and calmness. Now, this is often what people want from meditation, but is it a principle itself?
Yes, that's a good point. While relaxation is often a very welcome result of meditation, the source frames it as arising naturally from the other principles. Well, by focusing the mind and letting go of some of that mental clutter, you naturally activate the body's relaxation response. It's a physiological thing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it helps calm the nervous system, reduces stress hormones like cortisol. It's the body's counterbalance to the stress response.
Which feels especially needed in our, fast-paced, always-on world. For everyone.
Absolutely. The source points out how valuable this is today, with stress being such a common issue. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, or a senior looking for more peace, meditation offers a direct way to tap into that calm.
Right. Okay. Principle number 4, self-reflection and insight. This feels like it goes a bit deeper.
It does. This is where meditation starts to become a tool for self-understanding. The source uses a lovely phrase. It acts like a mirror for the mind.
A mirror for the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By creating that stillness through practice, you create space for things that are usually under the surface, unconscious patterns, deeper feelings, motivations to kind of bubble up into your awareness.
So it's not like actively analyzing yourself on the cushion, but more about letting insights emerge.
Exactly that. It's less analytical, more observational. And through that observation, you can gain real clarity about why you do, what truly motivates you.
Makes sense.
The source gives examples like a young adult might get clearer on what they really want from a career beyond just external pressures. Or an older person might find more peace with past experiences by seeing them with fresh eyes.
So it fosters personal growth and maybe even emotional healing.
Definitely. By increasing that self-awareness, it becomes a powerful pathway for self-discovery throughout life.
Okay, and the fifth and final core principle the source highlights is the cultivation of positive qualities. This sounds more active, like you're intentionally growing something.
That's right. Some forms of meditation aren't just about observing what's there. They actively work to cultivate positive states like compassion, kindness, empathy, equanimity.
Equanimity.
Yeah, that sense of inner balance and calm, even when things are difficult.
Okay. And the source mentions loving kindness meditation. Metta.
Yes, metta is a prime example. In practices like loving kindness, you intentionally generate feelings of warmth, goodwill, and care.
How does that work? How does just thinking kind thoughts actually cultivate kindness?
Well, you typically start by directing these feelings toward yourself, which can be surprisingly hard for some people.
I can imagine.
Then you gradually extend them outwards to loved ones, neutral people, even difficult people, and eventually to all beings. The practice itself, the repetition of generating these feelings, actually strengthens those neural pathways. It's like exercise for your kindness muscle.
So you're rewiring your emotional responses over time.
In a way, yes. It can build emotional resilience, deepen empathy, and just generally improve how you relate to others.
Which impacts relationships, obviously.
Yeah.
Navigating social stuff, building connections.
Exactly. The source suggests it can be really powerful for fostering more harmony in relationships, whether you're young or old.
These principles are really compelling. And the source also connects this ancient wisdom to modern science, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this is where it gets really fascinating for a lot of people. These aren't just nice ideas. There's growing scientific evidence backing them up.
Brain scans and things.
Exactly. Neuroimaging studies are showing that regular meditation practice can actually lead to measurable changes in brain structure and function.
Really? Actual physical changes.
Yes, particularly in areas linked to attention, emotional regulation, and that self-awareness we've been talking about.
Wow. Can you give some specific examples? What kind of changes are they seeing?
Sure. So for focus and concentration, research links meditation to increased gray matter, more brain cells, essentially in the prefrontal cortex.
Which is the brain's control center.
Pretty much. Handles decision-making, attention, working memory. Then for awareness and presence, studies show changes in the insula, which is key for noticing your internal body states, like your heartbeat,
Yeah.
and also for empathy. And for relaxation and calmness, research often points to reduced activity and sometimes even size in the amygdala.
The fear center.
Yeah, the brain's stress and fear hub. So less activity there can correlate with lower anxiety and better emotional control.
So science is actually validating what meditators have known or felt for centuries. Tangible changes.
It really is. It's providing a kind of modern biological explanation for how meditation can help reshape the mind towards greater clarity, peace, and resilience. It's quite remarkable, really.
It is. So pulling it all together then, meditation isn't just about zoning out or a quick fix for stress. It sounds more like an active journey. A way to understand and maybe even master your own mind.
That sums it up beautifully. And those core principles we discussed, focus, awareness, relaxation, self-reflection, and cultivating positive qualities, they're like the map for that journey.
And embracing those, really taking them on board, whether you're just starting out or looking to go deeper, it sounds like that's the path to, well, potentially a more balanced, insightful, and maybe just better life for you, the listener.
Absolutely. These principles are the foundation, regardless of where you are on your path with meditation. They guide you towards a more mindful, more meaningful way of living.
And perhaps a final thought to leave people with, something our source hints at. Remember, it's not about chasing some state of perfection. That's not the goal.
No, definitely.
It's about presence.
Yeah.
Every moment you notice you're aware, every time you gently guide your mind back, that's it. That's the practice. That's a step towards, as the source puts it, mastering the art of being fully alive.
A powerful thought indeed.
It is. Well, thanks for taking this initial deep dive into the beginnings of meditation with us today.